Hi there, welcome. Michael Griffiths here, and welcome to the Business Connectors. I am here this lovely Friday afternoon with Fee Bendall, and we'll get into what Fee does very shortly. But great to be able to have you along. Really looking forward to being able to share some great insights on some social digital strategy, which is what the Bendall Group is all about. But before we get into that, Fee, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've had a career of about 27 years, which means I'm a bit of an old lady of the whole digital tech scene. I started in consumer electronics and was convinced that camcorders and CDs wouldn't take off.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but of course they did. So I started my career really from that tech revolution right the way through. I was fortunate to work with some amazing people like the BBC in its real infancy of turning into digital, Virgin and those kind of companies, and emigrated to Australia 11 years ago, and I've been trying to revolutionise the Australian digital and tech space since.
Fantastic. So the Bendall Group, as we sort of mentioned, is around social digital strategy. Tell us a bit more. What does it actually do?
Yeah, we try and stay away so much from the word of being a social media agency. I think it's very difficult. The term digital and social media means so much to so many people. Our home is strategy. That's where what we sort of built the business on, and so as a result of that, we do a lot of different kinds of strategies, and we are very focused on behaviour and how behaviour has been changed as a result of technology.
Yep.
As a result of then developing those strategies, we often get asked to implement, execute and build things.
Great.
And we do that with a whole team of in-sourced people that we know. You know, we tend to find the specialists don't live in one agency or company. They tend to be really clever people who are doing their own thing. So we pull all those teams together.
Great. Fantastic. So I know you were the behind the very successful ANZ Small Business Hub, and from there, St George have decided that they need your skill set and talents, and they're wanting to be a lot more around, and I suppose support small business in Australia a lot more. And let's talk a bit about what St George are trying to do, ways that people might be able to help St George in that. Generally, let's talk about that. So what have we got going on there?
St George are a fantastic organisation. I think whilst they're owned by Westpac, they are very much their own separate business, and they are definitely a challenger brand. As a culture, they have a very open, friendly, warm culture that genuinely, George Fraser genuinely states, you know, the customer is really central and they want the customer to love them. As a result of that, in terms of this small business community, they're very keen to participate in the community. They're very keen to be involved with things like the village here, with yourselves, with the referral network, and really sort of, I suppose, get into the grassroots of the community, understand it, help people's businesses to be successful in terms of meeting people and understanding what they could do that could be actually quite different to just say a sponsorship kind of package. So do things that really help all of us, and we all network in a more meaningful way by participating as opposed to talking the talk.
Yeah, fantastic, because that generally is probably the bugbear of most business owners. They call themselves business bankers, and they sit over there in the business bank, but they're not amongst the businesses to actually really know what's going on and how they can help. So what a great way of thinking there from St George to actually get amongst the community, get amongst the businesses, and actually work out, well, what are their biggest challenges, what are the biggest problems which they might be able to help with. So that's fantastic. So that's great. So can other SMEs, other businesses, how can they be part of this St George community, which St George is trying to build?
Well, we're going to be doing a lot of events, education events. We've got quite a wide, broad programme of activities coming up over the next 12 months. And so anyone who wants to get involved, if they contact me, I'm building sort of a whole community of people like yourselves to bring in not only to the halls of power at St George, but also to participate in some of the great opportunities that they can offer small businesses beyond, you know, not selling a product basically, but really doing some smart things.
Yep, fantastic, great. So they can either find you at the bendall.com.au.
It's Bendalls with an S, villagetv.com.au.
Very good.
And I'm Fee Bendall, F-I Bendall, Bendall, on Twitter. And generally, if you just put Fee Bendall into a search engine, lots of things come up.
And eventually you'll find the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. And if all of that becomes difficult, you can always just get in contact with me and I'll be able to put you onto Fee. And you obviously do that just through this particular show. So that's nice and easy. Now, I also know you as a master networker, a great connector, somebody who knows a lot of people. So one thing which we try to do on here is if you've got any sort of insight to someone who's just coming out into business, is about to go hit networking for the first time, what are some things that you'd share with them?
Well, it's quite interesting because I've just invested in a startup business called Equitize. And I very much led those young gentlemen because they're quite young. I've actually worked longer than they've been born, which is, I don't know whether that's the right thing to say or not, but they're going to be very, very successful. But one of the big things I've said to them, because one of their target areas is SMEs in terms of their audience, is they need to, again, get out into the community. So I brought them into the village, I've introduced them to people like yourselves. I've been very insistent that they join things like the Entourage with Jack DeLosa, that they actually become part of the entrepreneurial community and small business community. And people like me or like you, Michael, we're more than happy to help them and introduce them to other people. And I think if people don't ask, they don't realise.
Yep.
The other thing that I really advise them to do is pick up the phone to journalists, share their story about what they're doing, and not be frightened to do that, but work out what that story is, work out what their content is and what their brand is, because that will help them with their blogs, with the social networking, all of that side of things as well. And we've done some really strong planning and content with that organisation, and they are kicking really big goals.
Fantastic.
They're actually in the Fin Review this week, which is perfect,
Yep. So true, so true. And you don't need a big PR agency to do something like that.
No.
All you have to do is talk, be able to introduce yourself, and go and meet people.
Absolutely.
People lead to people, don't they? So that's
Yeah.
great. Now, last week, you were showing me this brand new project that you were very excited about.
It's a bit under wraps.
Yeah, okay.
But I can talk about it.
You can talk about it a little bit, because I thought it was just amazing in terms of the concept. So maybe even we just stay high level here and talk about the concept, then that would be great, because I think it's something which could really take off, and the more people that obviously understands the concept, the more people can talk to you about it.
So we have started an organisation that has applied for B Corp status, which is Benefit Corporation. It means you're a profit but with purpose business that you're going to give back to society. And we've recognised that large corporates and small to medium sized not-for-profits, NGOs, really don't talk to each other. They find it hard, the NGOs don't know how to approach an organisation such as Microsoft, and likewise Microsoft don't know how to get all these huge resources they've got, which they want to give away, into more of the grassroots projects as opposed to the big NGOs. And so we've come up with a concept which is almost like, without giving away the whole concept till we're ready to launch, is where they can actually exchange in a very meaningful, simple way. And what we've also done is we've enabled individuals. We've found that there's a lot of positive frustration. People want to volunteer and they find it incredibly hard in this country to do so. So we've set up the ability for people to shout out their need and go, I've got an essential need I need help with. It could be helping me look after my mother for 3 hours, and I can't afford to pay for that, but I desperately need to go out and work, to someone being able to offer a random act of kindness. So you might be doing the City to Surf and say, I'd like to actually give that to an individual rather than a charity. Or you might go, you know what, I know, for instance, in my case, I know an awful lot about technology. I'm more than happy to spend, one evening a week when I'm coming home from work and teach someone how to Skype or do online shopping, which can reduce social isolation hugely. So we've set up two things: the ability for corporates and small to medium-sized NGOs to exchange in a very simple, meaningful way. And we've also set up this individual give. And just very quickly, I want to tell you, we're launching in about 4 weeks, but we've been conceptualising this, and we've been given unlimited software from Microsoft in the millions to give away. we've been given the ability to furnish 50 homes from Fantastic Furniture, so homing projects. Intel have given us, well, not given us, but offering their whole digital literacy program. And Regis, they're just fantastic. They're offering their old office furniture and training for people in their sort of service training programs.
Brilliant.
So, and that's, you know, we haven't even really gone after the corporates. So if there's any corporates watching this, we want you.
Yeah, great. Fantastic. That's great. So that's really exciting. In 4 weeks' time, we can share a bit more information about that and how people can get involved.
I should also mention as well with the village, Sean's come up with this really good idea, 50 for 500 concept, where it enables small business owners like us to give money, but by collaborating to be able to actually all agree where we award that money to on a local project for North Sydney. So.
Yeah, fantastic. And that's as simple as 50 businesses providing $500.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than one business trying to find $25,000. Again, collaborating, coming together, and then being able to support social projects as a business unit rather than trying to do things all at once. So,
and Bendall's
so
has
true.
put that in, agreed to do that, and I think it's a really important thing.
Fantastic. Great. Very good. Thank you very much for joining us today. You've always got lots of interesting projects on the go, and we'll certainly keep people updated who join us here at the Business Connectors. So once again, thank you very much for joining us. It's been great to be able to have you. Make sure you check out the sorts of things that we've got coming up, various networking events. We've always got the end of month drinks here at Village headquarters, so always you can pop in and say hello. Fee will always be at those too, so you can come and actually meet her personally, as well
Always
as a lot of our other guests. Until then, have a great week. Until next time we see you.
Bye.